I had a friend of mine call me the other day and said, "Hey," they said, "Hey Nick, I know you do Christmas lights. Can you help me out?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. What can I help you out with?" And he goes, "Hey, so last couple days ago, I just put the lights up on my garage and they're out."
Oh no.
Right? And
Great.
so that happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. He goes, what do I have to do? Do I have to check them out, all the bulbs? He goes, how does that work? And I go, well, listen, man. I said, so what kind of lights do you have? Let me help you out before you undo everything. Let's see if we can just do it real quick. So he happened to, in this case, and a lot of people put on their roof lines, on their gutters and stuff, they use a C9 or a C7, and that's the bigger kind of bulb. It's got a little bit of size to it and typically screws into a socket, a stringer socket. And so that's what he was using. And that's the traditional way for a lot of times, if you're my age or older, that's what you're used to. So they came pre-LED and now they're LED, but that's what he had up there. And so I was like, all right, well, if that's the case, if those are ran where they don't just go out, like the whole thing doesn't just go out unless there's not getting power. So I said, so first off, you don't have to go up there and check every bulb. Why don't you go check your extension cord where you plug it in at? Like, let's start there. And if it plugs into what they call a GFCI outlet, which stands for ground fault circuit interceptor, and I'm going to come back to that in a second.
Yeah.
Then you just reset that little button, and then
Yeah.
you're back in action.
Click.
Right. And so in this case, he had power there. And he goes, well, how do I know that it works? I said, well, grab a lamp or a radio or something, plug it into that outlet, turn it on. And if it works, then the outlet has power. It's pretty simple. You don't have to, we don't have to make it difficult. So you got power there. Now check your cord that it didn't get pinched or didn't come unplugged or something silly. So he checks that and obviously he has power. I go, well, if you have power all the way there, then what you want to do is check the fuse. Because a lot of times where the plug plugs into the extension cord, or sometimes the outlet, there's a fuse in that head of that line, and that's designed, obviously it's a safety mechanism. I said, check that fuse. Obviously well enough, boom, that fuse was burnt out. He just replaced it. Took him like about 6 minutes to go through that whole progression.
Yep.
Now, obviously, a lot of homeowners are not experienced in that, and that's why, I'd love to help those guys out. So if they're listening, maybe play back or however, but you check your power at the outlet, right? Then if you got power there, then you kind of check the power at your extension cord where you plug it in. And if you have power there, then a lot of times it's that fuse. And all the mini lights have the fuses right there. And then the big bulbs have the fuse right there. So, for the weekend warriors that may be wondering, hey, why doesn't my stuff work? It worked yesterday, but it doesn't work today. Hey, that's a quick fix.